Hi, Doug Wrench here, and this is the final video on the restoration of the Rawlings HC-5 helmet that we looked at in two previous videos where it had been painted green and even the cage or the mask had been painted gray. Well, we removed all that paint with lacquer thinner, and then we sanded it progressively with different grits of sandpaper, and then buffed it. We didn't concentrate on getting every little spot out because it is a used helmet, but we wanted to get it as clean as we possibly can. We took all the leather padding out and completely cleaned that up and gave it a little leather treating and cleaned the inside out best we could. And then we wanted to make it look like a local high school helmet. So all the striping here is not painted on. That's vinyl striping for lettering that's been cut. Hand cut. The logo on the side and the stars have been hand cut, and the stripes, and that's the finished product. Looks pretty good considering what we started with. It was a pretty rough helmet in appearance with that crude green paint sprayed all over and the gray cage on the front of it. But you can see with a little elbow grease, we probably have 2 hours into restoring this helmet, which isn't bad. Usually, if it was going to be something much more substantial than that, we'd probably repaint it, than trying to get the paint off and buff it. And of course, if you wanted a different color than what the plastic shell is, you're certainly going to have to repaint it. But in this case, it was the helmet we were looking for was a white helmet that depicted a high school team in 1966 that won a county championship locally here in New Jersey. So we wanted to go for that look, and that's how we restored it, and it made it very easy, and it looks very, very good. Nice thing about these Rawlings helmets, especially an HC-5, is all the padding comes out with screws, so you can get everything out and really clean it up. Some of them have rivets, and you're gonna have to very carefully grind the rivets off. You can get them through a Granger or a place like that. We get stainless steel rivets, although the original ones were not. So if you had a later model, Rawlings that had the padding riveted in, you can carefully, maybe with a Dremel tool, grind those rivets out in the back and pull them out, and then you can re-rivet it once you either clean it or paint it. It makes a really, really nice first-class job. The only thing I've never found rivets for are the, as you can see here, on the hold the cheek pieces in. I've never been able to find those rivets with the snaps on the back, so I tend to leave those in. In this case, we buffed them and they show up, but I have painted over them in the past. If you look at pro helmets, they're painted over, so that doesn't look too bad. But it looks nice when you have fresh rivets. In this case, we took these screws out. These are the original screws, which are not a Phillips head. They're kind of an X pattern. Don't really know why they made them that way, but it's kind of an X pattern, and we put them in a vibrating tumbler, and that cleaned them up with media. So that's the finished result, and something you can do just with a little elbow grease. No real special tools required. I mean, we use a power buffing wheel, but you could have buffed it by hand. And again, if you are going to be buffing, just be a little bit careful that you don't buff too fast. You can burn the plastic on them, but that's the result. Rawlings HC-5 helmet restored. Thanks for watching. We'll back you with more restored helmets along the way. Take care. Bye.